Do you remember when sports used to be fun? Me neither. That's why I want to take a minute to talk about the emotional investment we put into 18 to 20-year-olds throwing around a dead pig. I mean, if you really think about it, it's completely ridiculous.
Boring!
What the?
We're back, baby! Suck my donkey balls, Indiana! Who's your daddy? We are! Woo!
If I was going to drop this basketball, can you predict where it's going to bounce? Let me guess, you said straight back up, didn't you? Now if I drop this, can you predict where it's going to bounce? Yeah, this weird shaped thing, it can bounce literally anywhere. So now, armed with the knowledge that a football's bounce is completely unpredictable and it can go anywhere, let's take a look at some of the bounces Penn State got against Indiana. I mean, seriously, check out this last one. The guy's just laying on the ground, not even watching the play, and the ball just falls right into his lap. How lucky is that? In fact, Indiana wouldn't recover a fumble by either team until there was a minute left in the game when they were already down by 12 points. As much as people like to believe that close games are completely decided by coaching decisions and toughness and whoever wants it more, the truth is they're just as often decided by these crazy bounces that neither team can control. And Penn State definitely lucked out that the bounces went their way this game. In fact, you could argue that Penn State didn't even really earn this victory. Instead, they bounced their way to a win. Alright, we're done here. Speaking of not deserving to win this game, let's talk about this hot mess that was the fake punt. So number 38 here is just going to run up the field and take this man out of the play. And that leaves this Indiana player here on the edge completely unblocked. But that should be taken care of by the lineman 53 who's going to run over. And I think the idea was for the lineman to kick that player over to the sideline and give Gillikin a lane right up here in which to run. But things go haywire. So I've paused it right after the ball snapped. You can see that 38 is starting to go upfield, and you can see the lineman is coming over here to kick him out. However, look at these two players here. Their first movement was actually to jump into the inside of their players and block them to the outside. This wasn't the Indiana player beating them to the outside. Their first movement was literally to jump to the inside of the player and then to push him to the outside, which happened to be exactly where Gillikin is trying to run. It's almost like half the team thought the play was going to go to the outside and the other half thought it was going to go straight up the middle. Speaking of which, look at the hole up the middle. If these three players all pushed their players to the outside and they held those blocks pretty well, you have two, even maybe three linemen that could be leading right up the middle with Gillikin following suit, and that'd be an easy first down. But that's clearly not the play that was called. So now I'm going to rewind it back to before the snap and we'll watch the whole play. Yeah, that is a lousy play. And the most frustrating thing about this play is that it wasn't just one missed block. It wasn't just that the defense had a good alignment to the play call. It seemed like the Penn State players were just not on the same page. They were doing two different plays. And if you claim that every single week is your Super Bowl and that you're going to act like a crazy person to get this program from great up to the 1% it needs to be to elite, you just absolutely cannot have things like this happening. I mean, watch Alabama play. You think Nick Saban would ever have a miscommunication like this? Actually, I have no idea if Alabama screws up like this. I mean, I never watch them play, because every Saturday it's like, oh, the Alabama game just started, and I put it on, and it's already 28-0 Alabama. Like, there's literally 42 seconds off the clock, it's already 28-0 Alabama. Like, how is that even possible? And I'm like, oh, well, time to flip to another game. Doop-de-doop-de-doo. So yeah, we probably spent more than enough time on this fake punt. So let's go to a more positive play. So no single play wins or loses you a football game. unless it's a running call on 4th and 5 from midfield. But I'm going to show you a play here that you don't even remember that very well might have won Penn State this game. So it's 3 minutes till halftime, Penn State's up by 3, 2nd and 9 by Indiana, and they're going to throw a little pass over to the right side, and the person has lots of running room. And watch the tackle made by Penn State. Watch this open field tackle. So that tackle was huge because it stopped him 1 yard short of the first down marker. If Indiana gets the first down there, they're inside the 10-yard line, plenty of time up till halftime, very likely they score a touchdown, and in a game that Penn State ultimately won by 5 points, that would have made a huge difference. But instead, Indiana was faced with a 3rd and 1. They ran up the middle and was stuffed, and that set up a 4th and 1 where this happened. So on this 4th and 1 play, according to the Indiana coach after the game, the ball was actually never supposed to be snapped. And watching the replay, I think I understand why. What Indiana is trying to do is make Penn State jump off sides and get a free first down. So they're going to do a hard count where he's going to clap his hands really hard, and then this player is going to sprint out in motion to the left. And they want that movement to act like the ball's being snapped, and they want any of these Penn State players to jump offside. And the thing is, Penn State actually does. You can watch right here, this player is going to move past the line of scrimmage. Now, when that happens, if the center snaps the ball, that's an offside penalty on Penn State, and they get a free play. If they throw an incomplete pass or whatever, they still get a first down. But the center waits too long before snapping the ball. The Penn State player actually gets back onside, and then when the ball's snapped, Indiana's forced to do a little fade route that's incomplete. Penn State gets the ball back on downs. So here comes the hard count. You see he jumps offside, but he gets back before the ball's snapped, and now he's forced to throw this fade route. Penn State ball, all because they made that tackle 1 yard short of the line to gain on 3rd down, 2nd down, something down, whatever. Yep, that's Penn State receiver Brandon Polk with a drop touchdown pass that would have extended Trace McSorley's touchdown consecutive passing streak. Now, we're not going to tear apart a college kid that's out here sacrificing his body for free. No, instead of criticizing him, we're going to go back through history and we're going to find some positive aspects of Polk's career that we can highlight. Hello, I'm James Polk, 11th President of the United States of America. Now I just thought I'd share a few facts that you might not know about me. I entered the White House at 49 years old, which was the youngest of any president before me. I set an ambitious agenda as president with 4 major goals. I wanted to cut tariffs, re-establish an independent U.S. Treasury, secure the Oregon Territory, and acquire the territories of California and Texas. And by golly, I did them all. In fact, by the end of my 4 years in office, the United States for the first time ever extended from the Atlantic Ocean all the way to the Pacific Ocean. And I was able to accomplish all those goals in my first term. So as I promised on the campaign trail, I did not seek re-election for a 2nd term. I hope that in your day, whenever you're watching this, politicians still act with the same dignity and grace. After my 4 years as president, I returned home to the great state of Tennessee. Go Vols! Hey, and that reminds me, I think the Tennessee-Alabama game is about to start. Let me check the score. Ho! Tennessee's already losing 28-0. Well, those rolling crimson waters of Alabama sure can throw a pigskin. As for me, well, I did such a kick-ass job as president that it left me rather ill and sickly, and I died just a few months after returning home to Tennessee. And that's everything you need to know about the great James K. Polk. For our final segment, Kenny is going to update us on other games that happened in the Big Ten this weekend. So Kenny, what do you got for us?
Boiler up!
Great job, Kenny. Well, that's our show for tonight. I'm Kevin.
And I can catch a ball with my hooves better than our receivers can catch with their hands.
Damn it, Kenny.